Welcome back. We're on day 10 of our Jeweled Bugs project, which you know what that means. It's turn-in day. Woo woo. So I guess first and foremost, before we get to the turning in part, if you are done with your Jeweled Bug, remember you only need one. If you happen to use the bonus tinfoil to make extra, we'll get to that later, but definitely we want to be putting that into your art journal too, so you get those bonus points for extending your learning. But if you're looking at your time spent and you're like, oh yeah, I'm quite short and I don't want to be quite short on time, or maybe you want to do extra credit but you didn't want to do the bonus jeweled bug or something like that, something along those lines. Another option would be, for extra credit, for extending your learning, would be to take the bug that you drew, so like that little square, or maybe you photocopied it with like that window technique, or you actually photocopied it. Either way, what I'm saying is take that, or you could start with an entirely new bug too, that also works, and create what's called a Zentangle version of it. So this would just be with pencil or pen or marker. So it's going to look something like what we're seeing here. And basically what you do is you take your bug and you break it up into these different segments, kind of like bugs already are. Do you remember that from day one when we talked about the different segments of the bug? Full circle. I just love it when things are full circle. Anyway, break it up into different segments and select different patterns for each segment. Once again, it's kind of like what we're seeing here. You can, if you come into our slide, you can click on where it says pattern techniques, and it'll show you some different ideas for patterns. You could also type in pattern ideas into the Google and search that way. But you can see there's just lots of ideas here. And if you were looking more specifically for those sort of Zentangle looking patterns, the last slide here is going to have a lot, or once again, I'm telling you guys, if you've never heard of it before, the Google has all kinds of stuff. You just type in Zentangle patterns, search images, voila, there's like so many. Or you could create your own. That's an option too. Once again, this is like bonus extending learning, so it is definitely not required, but for anybody that is having fun with this and wants to do some more bug work or extend your learning, get some extra points, get some extra time in your art journal, this is one way you could do that. So I just wanted to throw that out there as an option for you. All right, next, you probably have some really cool looking bugs out there, all of you. And so don't forget to come on into our Hall of Fame and add your artwork to it if you want. This part is optional as well. You do not have to add your artwork to the Hall of Fame, but it is a great way for us to get to share our work with each other. And then again, as a reminder, this is the only way if you want your art to be added in the end of the year art show for RVA. I do not come into your house and like snatch your artwork and take it for the end of the year art show. The only way I get it is by having it put in the Hall of Fame. I also don't take it out of Buzz. I just feel like, artwork can be kind of personal and we don't always want to share our artwork. So if that's the case for this, you don't have to, but if you do want to share it, claim a frame by putting in your name. You guys know I love that rhyme. And then add your artwork to it, and you can add as many photos of this project as you would like to. All right, let's get on then to what might be considered the most important part, the art journal. So, we actually get a grade. Quick reminder, I've been noticing in Buzz that some people are still just like adding the photo of their artwork, which is fabulous. I love seeing it. But like legitimately, the max you can get is a 50% if that's all you do. Because that's not the only thing that I look for in grading, right? It's not just arbitrary like, oh, I think this looks good, you got a good grade. No. Time spent, did you spend the time? That's worth a quarter of our grade. Answering the questions, that's worth another quarter of our grade. And then of course half comes from did you do the project, and that's where the pictures come into play. So just wanted to remind you, in your Buzz account, you should not be just uploading photos in there. All you're doing in Buzz is you're giving me that you're attaching your art journal. So just a reminder of that. So let's get into our art journal. Open that up if you don't already have it open. Double check that you've got your time spent up at the top. Ideally, we are shooting for that 10 hours or 600 minutes. Make sure you actually add up your time. If you don't add it, if you have it all there but you didn't add it up, you do lose points just for that. So you can use a calculator, it's fine. Add it up, put that over there for me. And then remember too, if you are short, a little bit of time, you came to all the classes, but maybe you only were able to get in like 3 hours outside of class. That's fine. That's still going to get you, potentially up to a 38 out of 40, which is still a very solid A. So we're okay with that. Actually, we're great with that. In fact, if you got less time, but you did the extra credit, you could actually still get over an A+, like over 100%, by having those extra credit things in there, even if your time's a little bit lower. So just reminding you of that. So just add up your time spent. Then there are going to be a few different photos that I'm looking for in here for you to get full credit. So actually in total there's 5 photos. One is your practice sheet, and that's where you did those 3 different techniques 2 times each. And so there should be like 6 different random shapes and each technique shown twice on it. So photograph that, get that in there. Whether you take a photo with your phone, you email it to yourself or put it into your Google Drive, open it from your Chromebook that way, and then upload it, that's fine. Once again, I think the easiest way, not necessarily the best photo quality, which if you're hoping to get in the end of the year art show, remember photo quality does matter for that, but it doesn't count against your grade. So anyway, easiest way, insert, image, use your Chromebook camera to take a photo and it'll add it right into the slide. That's the easiest way. Otherwise, you can upload it from your computer if you've, added it to your computer with, by taking a picture on your cell phone and then you emailed it to yourself and then you open your email and you download it. There's like I don't know if 100, but there's dozens of ways to do this. But once again, the easiest would be just using your Chromebook camera. So we want that practice in there. Of course, I'm going to want to see your bug, and I want to see the colored side. If you also want to take a photo of the side that isn't colored in, that's fine too. And then could I please, for full credit, get a detailed shot of each of the 3 techniques. So here you can see my blending. If you even want to like add in a text box, so here you can see I'm text box, and then I type in blending. You could do that, and then, 1 second, and then I could do, so this one's going to be the saving silver, or selective silver, right? And then the last one, of course, is layering. So if you, I guess what I'm saying is if you want to, you could also put in little things so I know which is which, but I'll probably already be able to tell. But if you want to clarify, you can do that. So that's worth our 20 points, or 25 if you did extra credit. Add all the photos of the things that you did, and we'll get you those points. Then finally, our last 10 points are coming from the questions down below. So the first question, what type of line or patterns did you use around your bug? So you can see in this one here, I've got some straight lines, some diagonal lines, actually lots of diagonal lines, some curved lines, maybe you've got swirly lines, maybe you've got zigzag, maybe you've got dotted lines. I don't know. We all did different things. So we learned about line. So what kind of lines did you use for your background? If you want to tell me about the lines in your bug too, like that's cool. If you need to extend that, go ahead. Also, if you have more pictures than fit the space and you want to add another slide, you can. Just make sure you write me a note here. So it says like, in big letters, look at the next slide. Because if I don't know to look at the next slide, I'm probably not going to, and then you might not get those points. So just heads up. And then of course the last question, what was your favorite part of this project, or what do you think could be improved? How did you grow as a student and artist? And if you need to extend that text box, you may as well. Once we've got all this so beautifully filled out, we're going to come into Buzz. You can go to your to-do list, you can click on our art tile, whatever is your favorite way. But either way, we are looking for the jeweled bug turn in, and I'm going to click on that. Then from here, once again, I'm not going to have this option, but because I'm teacher, not a student, but boop, That's what you guys want to push. Mine's grayed out. I can't actually do anything with it. But you should be able to, if you just had your art journal open, it should be kind of towards the top there. If not, just search art journal in your Google Drive and it'll attach. And then all you got to do is hit submit my work. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So anyway, make sure that you get that submitted. Ideally, sometime today before midnight would be the best. If you end up turning yours in late, just remember you don't get docked points for it being late. However, we are starting our next project tomorrow. Next class, next project. So it can get stressful if you don't have, if you're working on multiple projects at once. That can be really stressful. I don't want you to get stressed. Plus grade reports come out every Monday, and so we don't want your grade not looking good because this one's missing or anything like that. So I just reminding you of all those things. The sooner the better for our stress levels, for our grade, progress reports, all that kind of stuff. So get it turned in sooner the better, and then we'll be on to our next project after that. I can't believe it. It's going to be so much fun. It always is, because we're hanging out together. Anyway, good luck with this. Reach out with any questions. And I can't wait to see these in Buzz and check them out. Until next time.